An absolute mess of a snowstorm outside, but inside we welcome you to the calm before the storm, a Suburban East Conference collision featuring the visiting team, the 3-2-0 Roseville Raiders, taking on the White Bear Lake Bears, 3-1-1 early on the year. And it's so good to have you here at SCC Sports inside TCO Sports Garden. I'm Zach Halverson. We welcome you to a high school boys hockey affair featuring a couple of teams who are very, very familiar with each other. Plenty of history between these two squads, and it should make for a very entertaining game here tonight. The White Bear Lake Bears coming into this one, having a great start to their season thus far. One brief stumble against Centennial. Otherwise, they started the year with a great tie over a top team in the state, Minnetonka. They also beat Rogers on the road and are coming into this one with a 2-game winning streak, beating a couple of Suburban East Conference opponents in the Mounds View Mustangs in the Park of Cottage Grove Wolfpack. The Bears making their way out onto the ice. They are led by goaltender Lucas Austin, making his first varsity start of his young career. Lucas Austin, not much to talk about, at least in terms of stats right now. We will start the stat sheet tonight with all zeros so far in his crease, but he will certainly be excited to be in that crease for the first time ever, wearing that Bears jersey on the varsity level. We mentioned White Bear Lake coming into this one 3-1-1. They are led by yet another road. Have to make the most of this one. They've had a long line of roads over the many years, but this one right now, Nash Road, is making his case here already on the year. 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points. He'll look to reach double-digit in points tonight against the Raiders, and will certainly be a tough test for the Roseville Raiders tonight. The Raiders, for their part, they have some talent as well. Garrett Heights coming in, 7 goals, 7 assists for 14 points. He will get the start, as well as some other great talent, Grant Jakubowski, and plenty more as well. In goal for the Raiders will be Henry Hams-Dulke. He comes in on the year with a 2.67 goals against, 89% save percentage for his start with a 2-1 record. And the Raiders certainly have had a great season start of their own. Anytime you can get 3 out of the first 5, that is certainly good, and they have certainly done that. So it is youth night here. You can see the youth players out there for White Bear Lake. Free admission for White Bear youth hockey players, as long as you wear your jersey. So you see plenty of jerseys in the crowd from the hardy folks who made their way here tonight. Mentioned the big snowstorm outside. Not easy to get here, not easy to park, but certainly well worth it for a big Suburban East Conference tilt between White Bear Lake and Roseville, all here on SCC Sports. We're coming up on the drop of the puck, but for now we will pause here and listen in on the Star Spangled Banner. It's White Bear Lake, it's Roseville. It's coming up right now on SCC Sports. And here we go. Love the early season affairs, especially when you have conference rivals like White Bear Lake and Roseville. Good time to see really what the team is made of here. Got some big games coming up for the White Bear Lake Bears ahead after this one on the road against Wayzata before, of course, the big rivalry tilt at Aldridge against Hill Murray. So this is a very a big part of the season for the Bears. Want to get those wins while you can. You look at the standings there. The Ponies also on the horizon for White Bear Lake. They are ahead of them in the standings right now just because they played more conference games. The Bears will look to join the Ponies on top with a win tonight. Roseville, of course, toward the bottom at the early stages. But again, it's early. A lot of games still to be played here for both teams. And certainly, again, just a good time to learn about your team and get them all prepared. White Bear Lake's former coach, Tim Sager, often said these are 25 practice games. Everybody makes the playoffs. You just want to use them to prepare for the postseason. By the way, Chris Anderson, the head coach for White Bear Lake in his third year for the White Bear Lake Bears. Roseville has Scott Steffen in his seventh year. Henry Hamsdelke, 2-1 record for the Raiders. 2-6-7 goals against will be a big part for the Raiders' success tonight if they can hold off this powerful Bears offense. We are underway. Raiders and the Bears. The Raiders do win the draw, and they'll work it right in and fire a shot just wide of the goal right away. Quick breakout for White Bear Lake up the left wing side. It's Benz. He'll send a long pass that's broken up. Here comes Roseville into the zone off the official, but picked up here by Keenan. He'll try to navigate his way through. Here's Howard. Howard tries to center, broken up by White Bear Lake, and it's slid over right side for Benz. Benz takes it, cuts from right to left, takes a big hit at the blue line. Good job by Roseville getting physical early as they get the puck deep into the White Bear Lake end. Behind the goal, Veneruzzo will skate it, now knocks it off the glass to center. Roseville picking it up here at the red line, firing it back down deep, and White Bear Lake retreats once again. Tyler Lalonde for White Bear Lake will handle it, goes off the back wall. And the Bears again play it to center, trying to cut his way through. Here's a chance, Malloy, and it poked off his stick. He's dangerous. Highly touted from the coaching staff here as Roseville tries to cut their way back. Great defensive play by Lucas Mork, and he'll send a sliding pass up to Liam Malloy. It'll go off his backhand as he drives it deep into the Roseville end. Minute gone here, period number one. Puck tied up behind the Roseville goal, knocked free. Racing after it up the far side is Troska. He is harassed there by Lalonde. Lalonde got it down low and then shaking off a hit. The Raiders trying to find some open ice, and they'll backhand it forward towards the blue line, but it's broken up by Nashville. He'll steal it away. Sends a regroup pass to his left, and Veneruzzo will play it off a Raider. It's stolen free, but then the Bears will handle it right back. Into the zone. Mathewitz cuts from right to left. A backhand shot save. Rebound just wide of the goal. Mathewitz, great individual effort driving that Roseville net, but it's kept away by Hamsdelke. Here comes Roseville. Backhander from the lead. Daniel turned away nicely. Lucas Austin, his first save of his varsity career at White Bear Lake. Max Butters goes behind. And White Bear Lake trying to clear. Butters cuts his way through, takes a big hit. Puck comes free, and it's slid along to center. Roseville with a jump here. Galella tries to center, knocked back behind the White Bear Lake goal. Bears pick up. Long, nice saucer pass. Teddy St. Martin tried to center, hits a shin pad, goes to the corner. Bears pick it up. Mathewitz to the blue line. Goes to his left. A shot just misses. Hits the glass. Rims back out to center. Trying to keep it in front of him is Ritchie. But it goes back behind him. Bears regroup. They touch up. They'll skate it right back in. And a shot turned away. Covered up by Hamsdelke. We have our first stop. The 2:57 mark. Period one. It's scoreless. Good look there for the Bears. And you love that effort. Both lines starting to roll here. Draw forced out by Roseville. Great speed here by Jakubowski. Knocked away by Austin. And a pass up the half wall. Slides out to center, but it's met by Brady Keenan, who drops it back in deep. Pass misses the mark, but will go on goal, and that forces Hamsdelke to just cover up. Not an icing. Can't get the icing. That's definitely what you want for White Bear Lake. And then fortunate break for Roseville. Have to defend another defensive zone draw. Both shots right now on goal for the White Bear Lake Bears. Raiders win another big draw. They'll work it back behind their goal, and then out to center. It'll find its way to Marquardt's stick, and he'll drop it back down low in the Roseville end. Tanner Olson for the Bears. Curls out, finds some open ice, but lost the puck. Here's Roseville threatening, and a shot goes high and over the shoulder of Austin. Comes all the way back out in front of the Roseville bench, and the Raiders will again drop it back deep into the White Bear Lake zone. Marquardt reverses direction behind the goal. Slides it along here, Nash Road. For Ritchie, and now into the zone comes White Bear Lake. It's Larson. Luke Larson fighting his way through. Cuts across, gets some help and support from Malloy. Malloy make that Magnus bends. Cuts free with it. Goes back to the blue line for Mork. Mork fires one. Redirected just wide of the goal, and the Raiders will clear it out of harm's way to center, at least for the moment. Picked up by Luke Larson for White Bear Lake. Slid back in before it's cleared out by Roseville. Tyler Lalonde works it backward for Veneruza. He'll give it to Mork. Mork across, and then racing after. Here comes Malloy. Liam Malloy moving in. Malloy shot! Score! The Bears strike first. It's Liam Malloy. And it's 1-0 White Bear Lake. What a pass, and what an effort by Malloy to win the race to the puck and get this White Bear Lake team up 1-0 early. Racing there, got there, and then the beautiful backhand, not much of anything Hamsdelke could do. And a big good start for White Bear Lake. Raiders trying to respond here as they force it deep into the White Bear Lake end, but the Bears able to break it out. It's Nash Road moving in, Malloy to his left, and taking a hit is Road. He lost the puck, and it comes free. The Raiders send it off the wall, goes off the shelf, and the Bears touch up for an offsides call. Mentioned earlier, Liam Malloy very much liked by his staff, his coaches. His third goal of the year already. He has 9 points, and he will now move into a tie with Nash Road for the lead in points on this White Bear Lake squad that is generating plenty of offense early. It's Max Butters now for the Bears. He'll work it back behind for Road, who continues it to Malloy, and he'll let it go to the blue line. St. Martin, check that, that's Zachary Bai sending it down low for Road. Back out to Bai. Bai trying to shake a defender here, and Raiders can't clear. Bai just unable, they're still able to keep it in front of him. Great effort by Bai as he is trying to fight off a lot of Raiders. Bears will just go backwards, and then we'll work it forwards, and a shot taken by Tyler Lalonde goes off the Raider back to the blue line, and then a whistle is blown. I believe we might have our first penalty of the hockey game. We'll see, and yes, we will, as Wyatt Hauer heading to the penalty box, giving this White Bear Lake power play, which is rocking at 35.7% entering this evening, an opportunity to double their lead. The battle here at the blue line, and certainly it didn't seem too intentional, but that's what happens. You have a couple of players who are trying to get to the same place at the same time. And Hauer will sit in the box for maximum of 2 minutes. Bears would like to make that stay much shorter. Veneruzzo, beautiful moves. Veneruzzo driving in. He'll backhand a pass down behind the goal. Roseville trying to ice it, and they're able to clear it down. So Max Butters will come back to pick up for White Bear Lake. He'll have some pressure. He'll gather some speed. Lost it, and then it slid back deep. Great work by Jamal Lamar for Roseville. Firing it down low. There's Logan Dockin. Lets it go here for Marquardt. Some nice moves by Ryan Marquardt as he works his way in. Marquardt coast to coast! And it's stopped by Hams Dalkey. What a play by Ryan Marquardt. The team leader in goals. You can see why. He has 6 on the year, almost got 7. Just navigated his way through, tried to go 5-hole, but squeezing those pads just in time. The Raiders keep this a 1-0 game. About a minute left, a little over a minute left in that power play for White Bear Lake. They can continue the pressure here. Marquardt goes forward for Doroff. Back door for Rowe, but it skipped off his stick. He'll handle it now and sends it back out for Marquardt. To his right, here's Doroff. Back out high here for Marquardt. Doroff in front, backhand shot. Malloy looking for number 2, but he's denied by the shoulder of Hams Dalkey. Another chance, spinning and firing off the side of the cage was Malloy. Caught a little bit of the post as well. Half minute to go in the power play. Bears doing very, very well, all but scoring at this point. They'd like to convert here. 30 seconds left, back out high. Marquardt with a shot, score! Hit traffic in front. It's Liam Malloy, number 2 of the night. And the Bears have a 2-score lead. Beautiful power play goal. And dare I say, a natural hat trick bid now for Liam Malloy, if he can find another one. It was a dominant White Bear Lake power play. We knew coming in, obviously the numbers speak for themselves, 35.7, and that will climb even further. Just a simple play from the top, a shot, redirection out in front. And what a night already for Liam Malloy. Bears continue the pressure here, but it's stolen away by the Raiders. Trodowski playing it deep. Magnus Benz back for White Bear Lake. We'll find Veneruzzo slowing things down. And a pass does not connect, and it does not go on goal this time, and that will result in an icing. In the midway point of period number 1. And that Brady Keenan, he's got an assist on the year for the Raiders. We'll certainly want to find another 1 or 2 here as the Raiders looking to answer. They have not had a shot on goal recorded yet. So the Bears was 7, Raiders was 0, and I'll tell you one thing. Lucas Austin, we thought we maybe saw one earlier, but we did not rule it an official shot, so he's still waiting for that first save of his career. And at this point, you might want to see it eventually here as the Raiders fire the puck deep. White Bear Lake navigating their way through. That's Ty Mueller. They'll sling it in. Discrude. Cuts in, lost it, got it back, and then it's stolen away by the Bears. Stumkey moving in. Stumkey driving, looking for options here. He'll go back out high for Bai. Bai returns it here to Stumkey. Stumkey fires a shot, tipped in front by Mathewitz, and it goes to the corner. Pressure continues in front of the White Bear Lake student section. The Raiders steal it away. Up the ice, Salonik centers one, and then the shot thwarted beautifully by Max Butters in front of the goal. Great defensive work by Max Butters, who, that Butters name very famous in the White Bear Lake circles. Of course, the grandson of Bill Butters, the son of Ben Butters, former assistant coach here at White Bear Lake, and he is certainly making a name for himself as well with that famous Butter's last name. The Raiders will send it down the ice. Icing will be waved off. Marquardt there first of the Bears. Gives it off the wall for Tanner Olson. Puts on the brakes. Sends it across, hits the wall, picked up by the other 15. It's Brady Keenan. Out of the blue line, we'll get it right back. Pass to center ice, and up the ice the Raiders go. Hauer back out high, a shot, save made there, and there it is. Lucas Austin, no doubt about that one. As the Raiders get their first shot on goal of the game, a centering pass broken up by Roseville. They got numbers if they hurry. It's Heights to his right, back to Heights in front, backhand shot, score! The Raiders answer with a beautiful top shelf backhand goal. It's Garrett Heights, his 8th of the season, and Roseville cuts the lead in half. Broken play, they work their way up, some beautiful passing there in the zone, and not much Lucas Austin can do. And just moments after he gets his first save of the game, he sees his first goal against of his career. But not much he can really do about that one for sure. It's at 2-on-1, always dangerous. Great job by the Roseville Raiders. So 6 minutes, 17 seconds to go, period. Number one. We have a 1-goal game now after a couple of Liam Malloy goals. Raiders look to continue the pressure. It's Wyatt Hauer, cuts his way through. Hauer moving in, backdoor shot, tie game! Grant Jakubowski. And the leaders for the Raiders are leading tonight. It's 2-2. Just like that, it's just seconds apart. We go from a 2-0 game in which the Bears had not given up a shot on goal, and now it's 2-2, just like that. Again, nothing the young netminder Lucas Austin can do. Bears look to respond. A shot goes wide of the Roseville goal. Zach By keeps it in. He'll send it down low. Goes behind the Roseville goal. And the puck comes into the stands. Almost a great catch by the Raider faithful. And the puck sent back out on the ice, and we'll have an offensive draw now for White Bear Lake. But what a sequence for the Raiders. Again, Bears were in firm control of this one, and crazy how fast things can change here in hockey. A shot off the draw, turned away. Great job by Hams Dahlke denying Ty Mueller with the quick wrister off of the faceoff. Puck down the ice. It will not have enough for icing, so By driven into the corner boards, trying to kick it forward. Instead, it's knocked back behind the White Bear Lake goal. Bears trying to clear. On the White Bear Lake bench, it's continued on. White Bear Lake looking for an answer, looking to get that lead that they had for so much of this first period. Long pass continued, and it does find its way to Mathewitz, who plays it to his right. A shot, save made there. Stumkey with a good look for the Raiders, and it's cleared back out by Roseville as the fire wagon hockey continues here at TCO Sports Garden. Another chance now for Marquardt. He's driven into the corner while puck comes free. And a chance in front, shot, oh, it doesn't go. Caught a piece, Logan Dockin trying to finish, but instead it flutters high and over the Roseville net. Dockin back in for White Bear Lake, driving in on his backhand. Tried to sneak it in the post, but is again denied. Great job by Tanner Olson keeping the play going as the clearing attempt was knocked out of the air and sent to the corner. Magnus bends for White Bear Lake. Centers one. Chance. Shot. Pad save made by Hamsdalke. And then a long clear by the Raiders. Would have gone for an icing, but instead it hits the right pad of Austin. And the Bears forced to retreat. They'll try to keep the pressure, the momentum going now. They had some great chances. Up to 10 shots now in this opening frame. Intercepted by Mark Ward. He'll knock it back in, takes a hard hit. It's driven into the boards. Paid that price. Raiders trying to clear. It's kept in by the Bears. Sent fluttering on goal and making a shortstop-like catch as Henry Hamsdalke. He'll stop play with 3:21 to go in period number 1. The Raiders putting themselves in a much better position than it was looking like early. And have done very well, but they look across and see this top line of White Bear Lake. That is certainly keep them busy. Malloy Road, Boulan, so dangerous as the puck is played toward the blue line, pushed out to center. Racing after it is Lucas Mork for White Bear Lake. He'll try to find Lalonde, does find Lalonde, and he'll work it in. Pass across, picked up by Veneruso. Behind the goal. Raiders come free with it. Up the ice, it's Jakubowski. Driving in, it flutters around, and it's picked up and settled down by Veneruso. Off the wall. Back to Veneruso. Bears have numbers. Veneruso moving in, a shot save made. Rebound bounces around dangerously in the slot area, but it's cleared out by Westby. By picks it up for White Bear Lake. Goes back to the Raiders decor with it. Brady Keenan gets it here. Power, the corner, weak angle shot. Doesn't get to the net. Bears pick it up. Nash Road. To his right, here's St. Martin. Back drop pass just out of the reach of Road. In support is Butters. Max Butters moving in, fires a shot that hit traffic, and then it's cleared out. And down the ice it will go. Chris Austin will play it. And for a quick transition is White Bear Lake. By Mueller had his stick broken in that whole sequence. Connor Fox for the Raiders. Gains the line, sends it deep. Big collision behind the Bears' goal. White Bear Lake grabs it here. Time ticking away on period number 1. 4 goals this opening period, and the Raiders almost had an opportunity for a 5th, but White Bear Lake recovers. Up the ice, here's Stumkey. Roseville steals it back. Again, White Bear Lake trying to navigate their way through the neutral zone. It's picked up by Mark Ward. He'll take a hit by Westby. Puck comes free. Rimmed around the wall, back out to center. Under a minute to go here, period number 1. Into the zone comes Dockin. Dockin sends it toward the goal. It goes to the crease and then wide of the Roseville net. Battle in the corner now. Dockin, hard hit. Puck goes on goal, turned away. Another chance. Veneruso with a shot, and that is knocked aside as well. Raiders with some space now, sending it from one blue line to the other, but Olsen gets in the way of that one. Fires it to the far side. And then Roseville knocks it back in. 14 seconds to go. Here come the Raiders. Right wing side, it's Heights. They'll center one, but it's knocked away by the Bears. Goes off the boards, kept in just barely, and then played to the back door to Hauer. Hauer, some nice stick handling moves here as the time expires on period number 1. White Bear Lake and Roseville knotted at 2 goals apiece. A great start for White Bear Lake and a great job by the Raiders to find their opportunities and respond. And it sets up what should be a very entertaining 34 minutes of regulation to come. What an effort by White Bear Lake's Liam Malloy as a even strength goal and a power play goal on the night so far. He will look to send the Hats flying with 2 more periods remaining here tonight. The score reads White Bear Lake 2, Roseville 2 after 1. As the Bears and the Raiders will work their way to the locker room. And we will head to a break as well. Come back with more highlights and get you set for period number 2 after this. It's a Suburban East Conference collision. The Bears and the Raiders tied at 2 after 1 on SEC Sports.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong, so I won't sugarcoat it. I need each one of you on your A game. The good news is, Anthony, the human body we've been tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with brand new gear to defend against the flu. That's right, we've upgraded our game with this new equipment. They give you a little extra boost. So let's go fight for Anthony, for his mom, his co-workers, that nice lady Patricia that lives down the street with the cute dog. In the face of viral adversity, we make Anthony thrive so he can protect himself and the people he loves most. Are you with me? Yeah!
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Buckle up! Nobody is more prepared for an emergency than Dogman.
With all your kung fu skills and your canine fortitude or whatnot.
But for the rest of us, a good plan goes a long way.
Come on, let's go!
So, whether it's an unexpected disaster or the world's most evilest cat bent on destroying all do-gooders,
Destroy all do-gooders!
you can help your family be ready for anything.
No time to waste. Will you get out of here?
Get started today at ready.gov/kids.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. My daughter Isabella recently had a graduation into high school, and I got emotional because I saw pride in her eyes. I saw my daughter have her own self-love, and I saw the hard work of me being that dad 24/7 transfer to my teenage daughter. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before. It felt like it was something that I've always wanted. I mean, he's not only my parent, he's like my best friend.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we are at our best, we have more to offer the world around us. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back to TCO Sports Garden. Great first period between White Bear Lake and Roseville, and we are all square at 2 goals apiece for both the Raiders and the Bears. White Bear Lake came out of the gates. They were certainly the better team in the first half of the period, but a great work by the Raiders after giving up those 2 goals, fight their way back, tie the game up, and we look at it all again, and it was certainly the Liam Malloy show at the beginning of this evening. What a job there. Who won the race to the puck, came in with a beautiful backhand goal. And then, it continued here. Ryan Marquardt with a great opportunity, looking for the coast-to-coast power play goal. Couldn't get it there, but later on that power play, it was a tip in front by Liam Malloy, getting his second of the game to make it 2-0. Just a beautiful job there out of the air, tipping it down and making the play. And it looked it was going to be all White Bear Lake. Unfortunately for the Bears, Garrett Heights had different ideas. What a job there coming down the ice, putting that one away in the back door. And then, speaking of the back door, also back there is Grant Jakubowski, as he was able to finish that one, tie this game up at 2. The Bears certainly had some chances to get that lead back, but a great job by the goaltender, Henry Hamsdalke, making the plays necessary. You see the shots on goal heavily favoring Roseville. They didn't have their first shot on goal until about the 10-minute mark of period number 1, but they were certainly quality over quantity for the Raiders, at least in the shots department. The one power play of the game went to White Bear Lake, and they converted. Special teams could certainly be a factor the rest of the way, but as it reads right now, White Bear Lake and Roseville knotted at 2 goals apiece. A great conference battle here tonight, and will continue to be good. Hope you stick around after this. The Bears and the Raiders continue with period number 2 next on SEC Sports.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit?
I can't help it. They're 2 for 1. What's this?
We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita.
Oh, man. Well, good thing we kept all the lights we used for the rally.
I've got the battery pack. Keep my phone powered so we don't miss any alerts.
What about game night?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have to get to Mom and Dad's and get them somewhere safe. I've got the evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Danny. Danny! Labs.
Danny, we need to talk.
Danny! She's overdosing.
When no one else knows what to do, it's gotta be you. Carry naloxone. You could save a life.
I'm a different kind of threat. You can't call the cops on me. I don't even have to break in. I'm invited.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family, so I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years, and I still live by that.
You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Two to two at the start of period number 2. Welcome back to TCO Sports Garden, Vadnais Heights, Minnesota, home of the White Bear Lake Bears. Also, for the record, Bounty Mustangs and, of course, the Gentry Academy Stars. But tonight, it is all White Bear Lake and Roseville, and what a game we have had here so far. I'm Zach Halverson. Thank you for tuning in and hopefully staying warm wherever you are watching us at. It was Liam Malloy getting the first 2 goals for the Bears, but 32 seconds apart, the Raiders respond with 2 goals of their own, one from Garrett Heights and one from Jakubowski. And that is where we sit here. Plenty of Raiders faithful in attendance as well, joining White Bear Lake on their youth nights. And again, this is a great look again at what it was an incredible goal there from Malloy, cutting across and then just burying the backhander and getting the Bears on the board. Marquardt again, a great chance here. Looking like it was be 2-0 just like that, but a great save by Henry Hamsdalke. But unfortunately for Hamsdalke, he couldn't adjust in time in the beautiful redirection from Liam Malloy. And that made it 2-0 White Bear Lake, and just able to swat it out there. Have a night, Liam Malloy. But again, the Raiders respond here. Just a beautiful odd man rush and great execution, making it 2-1. And then Jakubowski again. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 32 seconds later, tying this game up at 2 as the teams getting ready to go for period number 2. We look at, again, another great look, another great save by Hamsdalke. He's had to be big. He has 11 saves on pace for a 33-save night, maybe even more than that, depending on how the rest of this one gets going here. But the intermission coming to an end. You can see Henry Hamsdalke looking for his 3rd win on the year if he can figure out a way to keep the Bears off the scoreboard and get some help from his squad. But what a night he has had here so far, fending off a high, powerful White Bear Lake offense. The ice looking like it's getting back in some good condition here. The full disclosure, the Zamboni here, I mean, it was the Daytona 500 out there. I've never seen a Zamboni go that quick before. Some great tires on that thing, keeping it from sliding into the end wall. But they let the ice, all the water settle in. Bears will make their way out there, led again by Lucas Austin. We talked about in the pregame, he's just a sophomore making his first varsity start for White Bear Lake. And, not much he really could do on those goals. He was sort of hung out to dry on those 2-on-1s. So I would imagine at this point, after his 2 saves here in this opening frame, would like to get some more under his belt, get some more just casual, regular opportunities instead of these odd man rushes that this White Bear Lake Bears squad have unfortunately given up here in this first 17 minutes of action. So the team's getting the stretches in, getting ready to go. And it will be interesting to see how both sides respond after certainly an emotionally charged first period of momentum on one side, momentum on the other. You're looking at Scott Steffen, 7th year with the Roseville Raiders, is very well respected in the hockey world. Had some great training camps and certainly knows his hockey. The Raiders in some great hands there on the bench with Scott Steffen. And again, we mentioned earlier the other side, Chris Anderson taking over after a long tenure by head coach Tim Sager. Chris Anderson, the assistant coach for White Bear Lake for many years under Tim Sager, and eventually took over that coveted role as the head coach of the White Bear Lake Bears as we are underway with period number 2. Raiders get a good jump off the draw, but White Bear Lake turns it right back. Into the zone comes Goroff. Looks for options here, skates it behind the goal. Back out to the blue line, Larson fires one on goal, knocked away. Pressure continues, Goroff to the blue line. Mark Ward keeps it in, fires one through the slot. Goes into the corner. Didn't get the redirection he wanted. Pressure continues, at least for the moment, for White Bear Lake. Nice breakout by Roseville. And the Raiders gather some speed here. Into the zone comes Heights. Knocked free. Olsen for White Bear Lake finds Marquardt. He's dangerous. Tries to send one across, falls off of a glove. Still bouncing around, and Roseville handles it now. Garrett Heights again with a shot that goes into the glove of Lucas Austin and nailing on. Certainly interesting ice conditions, we'll call it that. The puck bouncing all over the place in this early stages here, but Heights able to settle it down and able to get a shot toward the goal. And again, I think if you're Lucas Austin at this point, you don't mind that. You kind of want a little bit of that action as it falls harmlessly on Austin once again, and we'll do this face off in the same spot, same place, just a few seconds later. I always hear about how goalies, it's sometimes tough when you go long stretches without seeing any action. And then for Austin, went the first 10 or so minutes of his high school career without seeing much action. Then all of a sudden it's 2 odd man rushes, and certainly not in the best position there, but hopefully he can settle in. And looks like he has so, and we continue on here. Big collision out in front, Nash Road taking a hit. Of course, that number 9 certainly on the radar of every Roseville Raider. Every road that has come through, from Leighton Road, who is playing with the Coachella Valley Firebirds in the AHL. Now Nash here in the high school level almost had a good opportunity. Couldn't get a shot off there, handcuffed. The puck kind of went up into his gut area. Raiders able to clear, and then we'll call that a shot on goal. Redirection, beautiful tip by Nash Road as he makes his way to the bench. Big collision in the corner. Some more physicality certainly picking up here. Nolan Road for his part, the middle brother of the three Rhodes. He's up at St. Cloud State University playing a very good season for the Huskies. And looks like a Raider on the ice now took a hit and is getting up slowly here. That is Nolan Turdowski. And he will make his way slowly to the bench. Another look at there, took a hard hit along the wall. The body of Chase Mathewitz, very unforgiving there. Just 5'8", but certainly knows how to use it well. Raiders force it out to center, and then Bears return it deep. Very similar story in the start of the second period that we saw in the first period. White Bear Lake, at least for the Bears' part, hoping to not see the second half of the first period again. As the Raiders send it out to center, Bears steal it away. Forward to Stumkey. Ridden up the puck by Fox. Taking over is Max Butters. Slides it over to Bai. Zachary Bai. Getting some speed. Takes a slash. Draws a penalty, and the Raiders will touch up here in White Bear Lake. 1 for 1 in the power play tonight. Entered the evening 35.7%, and they will have another opportunity as being called for a slash, Luca Vieira. And we will see our second power play opportunity of the evening for White Bear Lake. Mentioned him earlier. Liam Malloy had the power play goal. He had the other even strength goal as well for the Bears, as the faceoff is forced to the blue line but kept in by the Bears. Great job by Rode, keeping the play going here early in the power play. He'll handle it, slides it to his right for Ritchie. Ritchie to his right, gets it back from Doroff. Now he'll slide it to Rode, across Doroff. To Ritchie, his shot, score! What a shot from Carson Ritchie. Great screen out in front from Tanner Olsen. Hams Dahlke could not have seen that one at all. And the Bears capitalize again on the power play. They take the lead 3-2. Again, just simple hockey. We saw it earlier with Malloy in the tip. And this one, Malloy went for the tip. Didn't look like he got it. Didn't need to get it. Again, that big frame out in front from Tanner Olsen, 6'3", blocking any sort of opportunity for Hamsdalke to see that one. So they're going to give it to Marquardt. And what an opportunity here for the Bears again, but it's ridden off the stick and it's cleared out to center. Bears retreat. Benaruzo tries to claw his way through. Comes free to Mork. Through the neutral zone, the Bears come. It's Rode. Centers one. A chance, the shot save, rebound loose, and then cleared away. Race for the puck, won by the Raiders. They send a long pass, chance for Heights, left wing side. He'll fire a shot, and another quick answer by the Raiders. Garrett Heights with a beautiful shot. Beats Austin over his shoulder, and it's 3-3. Bar West will call it. That beautiful sound there, at least a beautiful sound for Roseville fans. It's not a good sound for the White Bear Lake Bears. The iron unkind for Lucas Austin. And just like that, we're tied up. So White Bear Lake, the offensive side of things doing well. The Raiders, however, responding in kind. Another opportunity for the Bears. Great save by Hams Dalkey. So correction earlier, Ryan Marquardt with that goal. Beautiful look from the top of the slot. And then Garrett Heights responds, and just like that, it's 3-3. Max Butters for White Bear Lake. Lost it, shot, beautiful save made by Austin. Didn't have much time to react. Miscue in front of that White Bear Lake goal, but Austin bails out Butters. Max Butters connects with By. Forward to Teddy St. Martin. At the red line, got it to Mueller, who will fire it deep. Bears trying for a quick change. Raiders will try to take advantage of that there with the long pass. And a beautiful move here. Here's Hauer. Hauer sends one in front, but nothing but a White Bear Lake Bear. That Bear was Stemke, who paid for that with a huge open ice hit by Hauer. Bears cleared out, racing after it up the right side. A centering pass broken up. Bears steal it again. A chance in front. Shot, save, rebound. Another save, and it's kept out. What a job there by Ham Dalkey. Another try for White Bear Lake, but it's cleared out, and then the Raiders will send it down the ice. Icing is called, but the Raiders survive some grade A scoring opportunities to keep this one tied up at 3. Big collision in the corner. He mentioned the physicality there, and then a pass in front. Dawkin trying to finish, but you see the hands go up in the air from the Bears fans here. Trying to figure out how that one didn't go in. 21 shots now for White Bear Lake. 18 of those have gone in. And just 10 shots now for Roseville, but they have the same amount of goals, and that's where it counts. We'll see how White Bear Lake can respond here. Great job by Doroff. Had the puck, lost it, flipped up in the air, and down the ice it goes. Chance for the Raiders again. A shot carries just over the White Bear Lake goal, swings all the way back out to center ice. Here's Olsen, moves it across here, gaining some speed into the zone as Tyler Lalonde. Had it poked off his stick. Heights redirects it on goal, and Austin leaves it for Marquardt. Tanner Olsen, the captain of this White Bear Lake team, sends a pass to his left. Marquardt trying to slice his way through, played it to the red line. Raiders steal it back. Another captain on the ice. Here's Nick Westby, lost it. Nash Road, great back check. But the Raiders keep the puck alive. Back to the blue line here. Chance a shot, and it's a stick save for Austin as he directs it into the netting. And we will stop play. 9.5 to go, period number 2. 3-3 is the score, and Lucas Austin getting some regular action now and has made some very, very good saves as of late. Remember that one just a little earlier where there was that turnover in a prime scoring area. He's able to get the pads down and direct it aside. There's send it off the glass and also out of play. So souvenir for somebody here. Right back at it. Shot off the draw, turned away. It's nice rebound in front, and it goes on goal. It's covered up, but in the process, the Raiders drew a penalty. That loose puck Bears sent scrambling, and that forced Luke Larson for White Bear Lake to take a hooking penalty, and that will give the Raiders their first power play opportunity of the game. As again, just kind of sat there and can't have a puck in that prime goal scoring area. Just given to the other team. Larson having to do something, and he did it there, and now the Raiders will have the man advantage. Mentioned 26.1% on the power play for Roseville. Bears, though, on the penalty kill, 83.3% entering tonight. Garrett Heights forward to Ama, who fires one and it's blocked into the corner by Austin. Bears able to clear it out. Andrew Diskrud. 3 assists on the young season for him, as the Raiders work their way in. Immediately met by Gavin Veneruzzo, and just like that, almost the first half of this power play for Roseville gone. Not much to show for it. Trying to change that here. Grant Jakubowski, he's got 1 goal in this game so far, would like to make it 2 as he'll drive his way in, sends a backhand pass through the crease, goes to the far corner. It'll be picked up, and then avoiding a tripping call somehow is White Bear Lake as we play on 5-on-4. The Bears able to clear it out. Thought for sure we were going to see potentially some 5-on-3, but we play on 5-on-4. 44 seconds left in the power play, and nearly a bad turnover there as Malloy had the puck on his stick for a moment, but it's continued along by Roseville. They enter the zone, knocked free, and out to center it goes. As a whistle blown here offside the call on a relatively disappointing power play for Roseville. 26 seconds still remains. And talking about it all game, it's been quantity over, really quantity equaling quality here. As the Raiders taking advantage of their chances more, but the Bears certainly peppering with the shots, and that's another one. That'll be shot number 22 from the White Bear Lake zone. And a save made by Hams Dalkey here. One last rush for the Raiders with the man advantage. They'll work their way in. Olsen trying to clear. Got some help by Ritchie, but it doesn't go out, and a shot from the blue line hits traffic out in front. Bears might have some numbers here. Rode comes off the bench, goes to his right. Here's Dawkin with a shot, save made, and hanging on is Henry Hams Dalkey. A little over 7 remaining in period number 2. Bears kill off a penalty with relative ease, and then got a quick opportunity off of that rush, and nice save made there, and hanging on to it. So crucial, especially when you have a guy like Nash Road there looking for some sort of rebound. Road to the right of Liam Malloy, the 2-goal scorer tonight so far, as Austin backhands it over the glass and out of play. So we'll have a face-off inside the White Bear Lake zone. Max Butters, 3 assists on the year so far. Big part of this team's success. And again, just we talk about the shots, 23-16 now. This is been a lot of work for both goaltenders on the ice tonight. White Bear Lake looking to find some open ice. It's sent forward to Rode. He'll fight his way in. Rode centers one, but unable to get a full stick on that there was Dawkin. Butters at center ice. His pass was right back to him. Finds Rode. Rode up the left side here for Lalonde. Tyler Lalonde with a shot that goes high and wide and dribbles back out to center by tracking it down for White Bear Lake. High. Lost his footing. Heights takes over for Roseville. Heights moving in, a shot, and Austin makes the save. Turnover at that White Bear Lake blue line. Another good opportunity for Roseville, but Austin finding a rhythm. And the young goaltender making another great save on Garrett Heights, who pushed one on goal. Trying to take advantage of that turnover. Heights with 2 goals for his part. A minute and 3 seconds total between the 2 goals here in period number 2. White Bear Lake starting that with Ryan Marquardt and the aforementioned Garrett Heights answering. That was a little while ago. Team settling back in here. Very good hockey game. Face-off at the red line. It's Benaruzo. Roseville. Some nice moves here from Murphy. Murphy to his left for Podolsky. Lost it. Bears send it high in the air to center. Bounces in. Race for the puck is on. Trying to get there is Stumkey, who goes hard into the corner wall. He'll get back up. That's certainly good to see. A shot from Benaruza goes over the goal. Stumkey plays it behind. Pickpocketed by Trudowski. And up to Murphy. Continued forward for Lamar. Lamar centered one there, but Trudowski had a stick tied up. Great defensive play by the Bears. There's another opportunity on that back door. And a whistle blown offside the call. And with 4:48 remaining, remain tied at 3. Picking the puck up here, Ryan Marquardt. Long pass there, goes on goal, and Amsdalke will cover up. I think Dispen's forcing the issue there. Amsdalke looking for his 3rd win of the year. Senior goaltender. But I'm sure love to get a win against White Bear Lake. 21.5 minutes of regulation remain before that could potentially happen. Off the draw shot. It's somebody out in front broke a stick too as well, and it's cleared out to center by Roseville. Into the zone, the Raiders come, stolen away by White Bear Lake. Marquardt, some nice moves here. Dangerous moves, but it worked out for him. Got it forward to Doroff. Couple of passes down in front. Marquardt with the shot save. Rebound in front. Score! Magnus Benz on a beautiful play, quarterbacked by Ryan Marquardt. The Bears back in the lead. It's 4-3. Absolute chaos in front of that Roseville goal. And it all started. Marquardt took the shot, hit the back wall, came out in front. And helping it out there was Hunter Doroff. Great play there by the Bears. And Magnus Benz as his 2nd of the season. So we'll see if the Bears can fend off another Roseville answer. The Raiders have been so good in coming back and not letting the Bears hang on to a lead for too long. Now a whistle blown offside is the call. Took about a minute and 3 seconds last time for the Raiders to answer. But the Bears would love to get that 2-goal lead that they had back in the first period again. Centering attempt broken up by Roseville. Up the ice, Malama working his way in, takes a hard hit in the corner. Coming away with it is Max Butters. Butters off the wall to Rode. Fights off a check, puck comes free. It's picked up by Murphy and sent toward the goal. Directed aside by Austin. Raiders going down low with it. Trudowski tried to center, knocked away. Liam Malloy reversing direction, finds By. By with a long pass. Rode tips it in. Rode going to battle with Diskerud. Trudowski cuts free, sends it off the glass to center. And Max Butters will get there first for White Bear Lake. Both teams changing as it connects with Ritchie moving in. Carson Ritchie with the shot, and it's knocked away by Hamsdalke. Benaruzo knocks it along for St. Martin. His pass intercepted by Roseville. They'll send it back deep. Benaruzo for Ritchie. Ritchie one-handing it in, takes a hit. And Roseville coming back here trying to break free, but knocked to the ice was Hauer. Heights. It's 2 goals tonight, trying to get this team back in tied. It's done it a couple times already. Raiders touch up, they'll send it deep. Physicality picking up certainly here in this one. Hitting back and forth here. The Bears come away with the puck. It's Ty Mueller. Lost it as he entered the zone. And then it maybe finds its way into the White Bear Lake bench. They'll stop play a little for a minute and a half remaining, period number 2. In a thrilling hockey game here between White Bear Lake and Roseville. Raiders win the faceoff. Sent into the White Bear Lake end. Here's Hank Stumpke. Cleared it out, took a hit. Here come the Raiders. A shot sticked away by Austin. Nice Trudowski. Behind the goal, it's Marquardt. Trying to fight for some open ice. Great shot by Ryan Marquardt. As he goes off the wall for Dockin, but he can't clear. Raiders come back for a moment. Nice poke check by Marquardt. Doing it all for White Bear Lake right now as the Bears will work their way into the zone. Right side with Stumpke. He'll take a hit, sends it in front. The Raiders steal it away. Roseville up the ice now, tail end of a long shift. They were looking to change. And then a big hit put on by Logan Dockin. The Bears come away with it. Chance in front. Olsen's shot missing high. And the Raiders 3-on-0. Heights across, back to Heights, and they can't get a shot off. Oh my, 3-on-0 for Roseville, and they can't even get a shot on goal. The net's slightly off the moorings. Austin gets a stick back, which she lost in the process of trying to cut from right to left and back to right. Bears clear it out, they survive, and it is 4-3 White Bear Lake. After 2 periods of play, somehow, some way, it looked like Roseville was going to answer once again, but they can't capitalize. We'll see it again. How in the heck did this happen? Heights tried to do a tic-tac-toe and just couldn't receive the pass and put it on goal. Skipped a stick. Perhaps the ice at the end of a long second period, perhaps not in the best condition, but regardless, certainly a disappointing way to end the period for Roseville, but the Bears will certainly take it. They will take that lead to the locker room 4-3 is the score as the Raiders and the Bears putting on a show tonight here at TCO Sports Garden. What a couple of periods we've had here so far. We'll take a look at all the action we've had and get you set for all the action still to come. White Bear Lake 4, Roseville 3 after 2. You're watching high school boys hockey on SCC Sports.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family, so I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years and I still live by that. You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy. It's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is being prepared for the journey ahead. Love doesn't let any concerns go unsaid. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax. It always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now, I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong. The good news is, Anthony, the human we're tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with strong new gear to defend against the flu. So let's go fight for Anthony. Are you with me?
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world, while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call.
Welcome back to TCO Sports Garden. The score, White Bear Lake 4, Roseville 3 after 2 periods of play. A ton of action, ton of excitement here at the TCO Sports Garden. And really all setting up for what should be a very good third period. All sorts of storylines to follow here. These teams certainly giving it their all. The physicality, the hitting, the body checking, and certainly some controversy here and there with some of those hits, but the officials letting them play and putting out a great game together here as the Raiders looking and the Bears both looking for their 4th win of the year. We look back at this last 17, the second period, a great save there by Lucas Austin. White Bear Lake back on the power play. Ryan Marquardt, thanks to a great help by Tanner Olson, that screen. Great shot as well, hitting that post, and then another iron help, this time on the other side of the ice. That was the Roseville Raiders. Garrett Heights with his second of the game. He answered just a minute and 3 seconds later. I mentioned the physicality, big open ice hit there, and another couple of big collisions, but White Bear Lake nearly taking advantage of all that chaos, but unfortunately for Logan Docken, he couldn't convert. Another big hit. You see again, back and forth play, and then we mentioned the chaos, plenty of chaos out there in front. Magnus Benz taking advantage of all that as Marquardt started the sequence, but finishing that was Magnus Benz getting that goal, and then the Bears nearly capitalized toward the end. But you want to talk about a beautiful opportunity. Garrett Heights has been all over the goal, had a great chance there, had another great chance and basically a 3-on-0. By the way, we mentioned too, Ryan Marquardt, great job in the back check, turning that 3-0 into maybe a 3-on-manageable. As the score you read, 4-3, shots on goal. That was a little different in the first period. Certainly it was 15-6 after 1, now 26-21 after 2. That is just indicative of all the opportunities you've seen. 16 combined scoring opportunities. We mentioned in the first intermission, special teams could be a factor, and they certainly have. Bears 2 for 2 on the power play, and the Raiders with their lone power play in that second period really couldn't do much with the man advantage. So we'll see how that comes into play in the third period. Imagine with all the physical play, we'll see some more penalties and see if Roseville can take advantage or if White Bear Lake keep this lead and find their way to victory. We will take a break and come back with the final period of regulation. White Bear Lake 4, Roseville 3. It's high school boys hockey on SCC Sports.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit?
I can't help it. They're 2 for 1.
What's this?
We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita.
Oh, man.
Well, good thing we kept all the lights we used for the rally.
I've got the battery pack. Keep my phone powered so we don't miss any alerts.
What about game night?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have to get to Mom and Dad's and get them somewhere safe. I've got the evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
I'm a different kind of threat. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. You can't call the cops on me.
Do you still want to hang out after?
I don't want your money or your TV. I don't even have to break in. I'm invited.
Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. Wrap away, you gotta pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it. That's the benefit of being a father is seeing those smiling faces.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
When I came back from the war, I was barely hanging on by a thread. I'm here today because of Tanya's relentless efforts in trying to get me healed. And says, Michael, I know you've got a plan to take your life today, but if you give me just 5 more minutes to love you.
5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, honey, 5 more minutes to love.
Michael has actually taught me what it looks like to accept help.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family, so I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years and I still live by that.
You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Welcome back to TCO Sports Garden. Another close, fun affair between these two teams, White Bear Lake and Roseville. The Bears carrying a 1-goal lead here into period number 3. The Raiders, led by Henry Hamsdalke, keeping his squad in it, fending off 22 of the 26 White Bear Lake shots, making some beautiful, beautiful saves. And you mentioned the Bears and the Raiders, it's usually a good one, and they usually play really, really well at each other. You look at the last 10 meetings between these two teams, and some playoff action as well. in that 4AA quarterfinal, but usually closer. Maybe some lopsided games here and there, but it has been all White Bear Lake in the last 10 and beyond, though. Certainly Roseville has had their wins over White Bear Lake over the years. A couple of storied programs in Minnesota high school hockey, and they will look to continue their stories here in this final period of regulation. Talk about regulation, we know that the Raiders have done a great job of answering, but not as of late. Lucas Austin in his first start playing very, very well, has 18 saves so far, including some big stops in later stages of period number 2 to keep this one where it is at. And again, Henry Amsdalke just all over the place tonight. Both goalies very, very busy in their goal creases. A lot of offense, a lot of hitting, and really just everything you want in a hockey game here, setting up for what should be a very great third period. Thanks for joining us here on SCC Sports. I'm Zach Calverson. Great crew on hand here in Venice Heights for a Suburban East Conference battle. White Bear Lake coming out of the gates flying after Roseville. And went to that end of that second period with what was basically a 3-0. But Garrett Heights, he had 2 goals here so far, looking for number 3, just couldn't convert. Liam Malloy with 2 goals for White Bear Lake. He has helped his squad immensely in this one. Had the first 2 goals back in the first period. The Raiders responded with a couple of goals 32 seconds apart. The Bears capitalized again, and then a minute 3 seconds later, Roseville Raiders responded before White Bear Lake took a lead in the later stages of period number 2. Face off in the White Bear Lake end. Just 3 penalties through 2 periods of play. Both power plays for White Bear Lake they were able to capitalize on. Roseville 0 for 1 so far. Breakout for White Bear Lake. It's Nash Road, very dangerous. Lost it as he entered the zone. And then that fresh ice there hampering Omar a little bit there as he was trying to carry it forward, but caught some very wet streak of ice. It's always sort of, you never know what you're going to get when it comes to the ice here at TCO Sports Garden. As a chance for Malloy, goes off his stick, hits the side of the cage, and the Raiders able to pop it up to center. That's a go over for Benaruzo. Benaruzo sends it in a nice little pop fly grab for Henry Amsdalke. Stops play. 99 seconds into period number 3. This is a big part of the season here, especially for White Bear Lake. Got some very tough games ahead, both out of the conference and in the conference. Wayzata on the horizon. Of course, Hill Murray. And you always get worried if you're a White Bear Lake fan. You see it time and time again when the Pioneers are a game or 2 ahead of the schedule. You never want the players to be looking past any sort of opponents, and White Bear Lake really not afforded the opportunity to look past the Raiders because Raiders have been just so good in response. Now here's Olsen, tripped up on the play and no call. And obviously White Bear Lake fans not happy, but I'll tell you, it has been, we mentioned in the intermission, the officials are letting the players play. They are not calling much of anything at all. And despite the fact that Olsen's leg, perhaps some would argue, taken out of under him, we will remain 5-on-5. But the Raiders certainly had some to complain about. We saw at the end of the second period the captains talking with the officials, getting perhaps an explanation for some of the non-calls. As a chance for the Bears. Malloy just couldn't pull the trigger. Rhodes sends it out in front. Olsen had his stick slashed out of his hands. And now he is none too pleased as the puck is cleared out by Roseville. Turned over back and forth here. Hauer moving in for the Raiders, sends a shot that hits a stick. It's Marquardt. Ryan Marquardt in. A pass off of the stick of Doroff goes just wide of the goal. Doroff off the cycle from Magnus Benz. He's forced into the corner now. Bears come away with it, back to the blue line. Here is Mork, and it's lost to Heights. Heights looking for some redemption. Heights moving in, shot, score! Couldn't tie it up at the end of the second, but gets the hat trick goal at the beginning of the third, and the Raiders have tied it up at 4. Garrett Heights scoring his 10th goal of the season. What a season and what a game. As the Hats getting thrown back out on the ice. Just another play where the Raiders have not been able to forecheck that well. They have not been able to hold the zone too well, but they have been so opportunistic. They have been able to capitalize on the little ice they have been given there, forcing those turnovers and coming in. And now here come the Bears. It's a shot, ramps off the stick. Rode took it. Raiders defended it. And we'll have a face-off in the Roseville end. The Bears looking to this top line of Lalonde, Malloy, and Rode for some much-needed offense here. They just cannot seem to pull away from Roseville. Draw one by White Bear Lake. At the blue line, a shot finds its way to the goal. Big save made there. Henry Hemsdalke. And we'll try it again. Another draw in that Roseville zone. The Raiders getting some fresh bodies. Draw one by the Bears. Road back to the blue line once again. Veneruso on goal. Save made. Rebound cleared to the corner. Does skip the stick of Veneruso. Odd man rush again. Here come the Raiders looking for the lead. Hauer with the shot. Misses high and wide. And the net's off the moorings. Road on the back check lost his footing and knocked the net off, and that will bring a face-off inside the White Bear Lake zone. But there is certainly a defensive problem for White Bear Lake. They just continue to give up these odd man rushes, and Roseville just capitalizing on so many of them. Almost did it again, but Bears survive, and now they work the puck up. Road behind the goal, swung around. Olsen trying to step up, and it finds its way, I believe, into the Roseville bench as Olsen stepping up, trying to fend off Garrett Heights, who was looking to maybe get goal number 4 of the evening if he can continue to lead this team in black and gray. Long shift now for Lalonde, Malloy, and Rowe. As the Raiders win the face-off, they cleared up the ice. Bears trying to quick transition. Turned over here. Wyatt Hauer fires a shot from the blue line, and Lucas Austin will hang on to it. What a start to this third period for the Raiders. And the Bears trying to find a way here. I mean, they've had a lot of possession. They've had some great time in that Raiders zone, but it's so tough when you put all that work in, and then a quick miscue at the blue line can turn things around ever so quickly. Trudowski. Bears send it down the ice, and that relatively fresh second period ice will let that puck slide all the way down for an icing. And we'll head back to the White Bear Lake end. Last time the Raiders scored 4 more goals against the Bears, January of 2021. So it's been a while since the Raiders have been able to generate this amount of offense. They will certainly not want to waste all of this that they have earned, mostly through Garrett Height. But again, it's been just some great play at that White Bear Lake blue line to earn those opportunities. Of course, capitalizing on them. And this could very well be a 5-4 game in favor of Roseville. Raiders off the wall to center. Sent back in by Discord. Back here for White Bear Lake. Magnus Benz out there. He has a goal. Mark Ward, he has a goal as well. As he'll fire a shot. Really good shot there by Mark Ward. Gets his own rebound. Tried to slide it across. It was broken up, but then helped back deep by Moore as the Raiders flip it back out to center. Lucas Moore. Slide it forward off the stick of Doroff. Battle in the corner. Both 27s down there, Discord and Magnus Benz, and it's going to be the Raiders coming out with it. It's Jakubowski. Raiders lost it as they entered the zone. That allows Doroff to take over for White Bear Lake. Had it poked off his stick. Raiders come free. Jakubowski spins and fires it deep. Benaruzo behind the White Bear Lake cage. Slows things down for White Bear Lake before sliding it forward. Turned over at the blue line. Fired back in. Racing after it is Westby. Pickpocketed by Bai. And Bears work it out. Zachary Bai with some speed enters the Roseville zone, drops it back, and then it's rimmed around the wall near side. Turned over, chance in front, goes all the way through, splits the D, and comes all the way back to the White Bear Lake end. Tough break for the Bears as they will have to retreat all the way back. Gavin Veneruzzo. Leave it back for Bai. Bai had it stolen away. Here's a chance. Heights with a chance to take the lead, but he's fended off beautifully by Austin. Didn't have a lot of room to work with, but forced a turnover, and the Bears a little too casual there on their own end. Now they'll try a chance in front. The centering attempt off of the stick of Malloy. Couldn't get enough mustard on it. Now it flutters in front again, and it's covered up there. Some pushing and shoving, but it all dies down. Tyler Lalonde rushing to the goal, trying to get to that open puck. They look at the shots right now, 29-25. This was heavily favoring White Bear Lake not too long ago, but it has certainly been a wonderful period for the Roseville Raiders. A shot blocked. Olsen gets it right back. Mathewitz to the far wall. That his stick lifted, puck comes free. It's grabbed by Roseville, and they'll work their way up. Shots were 15-6 in favor of White Bear Lake after one, as another potential penalty, and the officials will let it go. A lot of that tonight. Mentioned the shots, 15-6 after one. It was 19-15 in the second period in favor of Roseville, as they just have not only hung around, but they've certainly asserted some of their own dominance as well. Time ticking away, 8:40 to go, period number 3. White Bear Lake up the ice, it's Logan Dockett. He'll center one, goes off the stick of Mathewitz and into the corner. Dockett again with a chance, he'll fire one wide. Dockett, another great chance. Mathewitz with the rebound, swinging it backwards. Screwed for Roseville. Now a Long pass hits a Roseville stick that will negate the icing. Corner to corner boards. Marquardt let it go past him. A shot from the right side misses. Trickles back to the blue line for Diskerud. He'll send one to the slot area, but continued in the corner. Back to blue line here. Some good forechecking by Roseville. Now a shot held on to by Lucas Austin. Yeah, and the Raiders not only hanging around, but again, they're doing a really good job of holding the offense here, making some great passes and generating some great scoring opportunities. So a lot of hard work by Roseville paying off. They put themselves in a great position for what would undoubtedly be an upset and a great program win if they can pull it off. White Bear Lake, though, still plenty of time for them to break through here and keep it's been a pretty good December for them going. Again, just one stumble against Centennial. They've earned a top rank. Here's a turnover. Jakubowski to the blue line, a shot redirected and wide of the goal. Liam Malloy, corner to corner pass to Marquardt. Marquardt lost it. Here's Heights. Heights with a shot wide of the goal. And the defensive zone turnovers piling up for White Bear Lake. And the Bears essentially forced to ice it with 7:03 to go in period number 3. A lot of action, the most action we have seen all game in the White Bear Lake zone. Roseville just trying to capitalize. Bears would like to maybe generate some odd man rushes of their own. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to try to do here. Floating out in neutral zone was Doroff. He'll look over to his right. Magnus Ben works his way into the zone, fires a shot, save made. Beautiful rebound, the shot carried just wide. Doroff, the great chance. Puck to the corner now. Kept in at the blue line, and then a hand pass will be called as Benaruzo got the glove up to keep it in. And I was unable to touch it up before it found its way to the stick of Magnus Benz. Another look at the beautiful rebound. Doroff just couldn't get it on target. Hand pass brings the face-off back into the White Bear Lake end. 6.5 to go in the third. The Bears did have one tie this season against the Minnetonka Skippers. That was the first game of the year. As Doroff cuts his way in, spins to the outside, cycles it down here for Butters. Right wing side by, sends it in front, hits some skates, and it's cleared out. It'll be iced by Roseville. Magnus Benz has a goal in this one, has that fourth goal in this one, and unfortunately for the Bears, it's been quiet in the offensive side of things since his goal at the 12:52 mark of period number 2. Another opportunity now for this top line, time ticking away for White Bear Lake. Little delay on the drop of the puck here, and we'll finally get underway. Here is Marquardt off the draw. His shot blocked out to center. Tanner Olson skating backwards with it now. His long pass, Nash Road trying to shovel it in. Knocked away, and then the Bears in the second effort able to fire it deep into the Raiders zone. Roseville looking for a quick breakout. It's successful. Heights lets it go for chasing Westby. Westby is ridden off the puck by Marquardt. Marquardt's pass to Road as Rhodes tripped up at the blue line, and then it's sent back deep on goal. Austin Pushing it aside. Olsen picks up for White Bear Lake. Now 5.5 to go in regulation. Tyler Lalonde. Drop pass to Rode. Rode cuts across. Rode shot, save, rebound is picked up by Connor Fox as Lalonde was driven into the Roseville goaltender, and now the extracurriculars continue away from the puck. It settles down, and now here come back the White Bear Lake Bears. Mathewitz fires a shot and squeezing the pads together just in time was Henry Hems-Dolke. But what an opportunity for White Bear Lake. Couple of great chances. We saw Rode. That's exactly where he wants to be. That is a goal-scoring area. I don't know if it would have counted if it went in, as Lalonde cut across there and then paid for it with some more, maybe a cross-check or two. But nonetheless, the Bears starting to generate some more chances. Certainly what head coach Chris Anderson would like to see. And he's talking with the officials now, and officials talking with each other, and not sure exactly what this could be about. Very rare do you see both referees conferencing together after, and the Raiders tried to for a very, very late line change. And now they're going to say White Bear Lake can't change either. And now Scott Steffen talking with the officials, getting his time with the referee. And we should get back underway after a relatively lengthy delay. I would say almost about a timeout's worth of time between the end of that play and the puck drop here, but we are back. Under 5 to go now, period number 3. Logan Dockin back in for the Bears, racing after it. Turned over, chance. Dockin shot, save as it goes in the corner. Raiders take over. Podolsky cuts his way in. A backhand pass forced down low by Lamar. Bears trying to clear. It's sent toward the goal by Diskerud, and it's gloved and held on by Lucas Austin. 4 minutes, 22 seconds to go, period number 3. We showed the conference standings earlier. Stillwater on top at 3-0. And a lot of people coming to this one expecting White Bear Lake to join them. Instead, Roseville putting up a heck of an effort here. A little equipment fix here. Wyatt Howard getting a new helmet. Something wrong with the bubble. He'll go from the bubble to the cage. And now another helmet change for Garrett Heights. I don't know what that's about. But another lengthy delay, and this top line for Roseville getting time to rest up here. Still unable to drop the puck. I don't know if I've seen really a player ready to take a face-off, go back and get a new helmet once, let alone twice the same sequence. But back underway. Bears swinging around the wall, and will continue it deep into the Roseville end. Magnus bends, takes a hit. Puck comes free here for Doroff. Doroff ridden off the puck by Jakubowski. And into the zone come the Raiders. Fishing it free is Doroff. Check that was Markboard, who slides along for Doroff. Doroff moves in, a shot save made, and then trying to find that rebound that was not there was Benz. Regardless, play stops, just under 4 to go in period 3. You love, especially if you're coach, crashing that net. But none given there by Henry Hemsdalke, and we see another face-off in that Roseville zone under 4 remaining in the third. Roseville up the ice off the face-off. Behind the White Bear Lake goal, Olsen. Backhanding it toward the blue line, knocked free. With Larson, and the Bears offside. As Larson just a step ahead of the puck, and that clock ticking away here. .327 to go. Bears win the face-off. Nash Road cuts his way through. Still with it now, sent it toward the goal, and just squeezing that glove along the side of the cage was Henry Hemsdalke, and we'll see a face-off this time inside the Roseville zone. Love to watch Road play this game. They're trying for a backhand pass out in front, but still to be able to take that puck, drive down low, and generate something. Certainly yet another special player in Nash Road. He'll get the puck off the face-off and fires a shot that hits a shin pad. Marquardt steps up, fires one, save made, still loose. There's the whistle. And away from the play, Grant Jakubowski getting up slowly. But he will get back to his feet. And again, Road all over the place, got a quick shot off Marquardt with another chance, looking for some help in front by Tyler Lalonde, but Henry Hemsdalke trying to give his team an opportunity to win a big hockey game here at TCO Sports Garden. Bears win the draw. Marquardt with the shot. That doesn't get to the goal. Instead, it's played to the corner. Rowe. The help of Malloy. Malloy driving to the goal, had it knocked off his stick. Trying to steal it right back is Rowe. Big hit put on, puck to the blue line, kept in. Marquardt fires a shot, Malloy tips it wide. Here's Nash Rowe. Rowe driving behind the Roseville goal, continues it. Lost it. Keenan for Roseville clears it just out. Marquardt trying to just pin it up against the wall here. 2.5 to go as the Bears re-enter the Roseville zone. Left wing side, it's Malloy. Takes a hit, gets back up, plays it over for Lalonde. Lalonde out high for Olsen. Olsen with a lane and a shot wide of the goal. Marquardt another chance that hits Rhodes' skates and goes into the half wall where it's cleared out by the Raiders, who have a chance, but it's offside. Jakubowski collided there with Olsen after the play was done. Make that Marquardt. And I think Jakubowski's laboring something here. You saw him earlier, he was in some pain, got back up, continued play. And again, he is getting up slowly as he makes his way to the bench. He is a crucial part of this team's success, has a goal tonight. Assistant captain, and keep an eye on him the rest of the way, but he is fighting through something, it appears. A little over 2 to go in regulation. Here come the Bears. Magnus bends, shot, save made, rebound off the post and out. Oh, what a great chance again for White Bear Lake, but they find the iron, and it's cleared out by Roseville. Veneruzzo, his pass taken away. Bears get it back. Goroff out to center again. And played toward the goal, slid away by Austin. Up the ice comes Doroff. Hunter Doroff. Driven into the wall. A centering attempt broken up by the Raiders, and they'll clear it down the ice. It hits the shelf. It will go down for an icing with 1 minute, 20 seconds to go in period number 3. Overtime potentially on the horizon, and it's in part because the Bears had such a great chance. Great first save, the rebound on the post, and a minute 20 to go. 40 shots on goal now for White Bear Lake, as they have picked up the pace certainly in the later stages of regulation. Off the draw, here's Road with a shot. Again hits a shin pad, bounces back out high for Marquardt. Marquardt with a chance, redirected just wide of the goal. Malloy will get there first for White Bear Lake, out high for Olsen. Sends it back down low. Picked up by Road. Nash Road at it, stolen away. It's cleared out to center, and the Bears send it right back deep. And it ramps off of Homsdalke's stick, and it goes over the glass and out of play, and that will bring a face-off inside the Roseville zone. The Bears have been so good in the face-off circle as of late, and I think everybody in this building at this point knows the plan here. Get it back out the road, let him use that amazing shot of his. We'll see how it goes on this side of the ice this time. But Liam Malloy has been so good. This time the Raiders come away with the puck. Instead, though, they can't connect on a pass, and they'll go for an icing, and we'll send it right back into the Roseville side. There are no free points. We're getting to overtime like you see in the National Hockey League, so certainly no reason to let up or be conservative here. It's all hands on deck for both teams. Draw force to the corner. Kept in on the clear. Marquardt with a shot, took a couple of bounces and goes wide of the Roseville goal. Big collision. Tanner Olsen with the big hit. But now some opportunities here for Roseville. Up the ice, right side, it's Hauer. Hauer had it stolen away, and now the Bears will play it forward to Rowe. Hard pass up the right side. Here's Lalonde. Lalonde with a shot that hits off the stick, goes behind the goal, takes a dangerous hop out in front, and Homsdalke will cover up with 26.5 remaining in period number 3. Another big face-off coming up here for White Bear Lake. What a game plan it has been for Roseville, generating some great chances. Played their way to a 4-4 game. The last half minute of this one, off the draw, a quick shot taken by Lalonde is denied by Homsdalke. Shot number 41 or 42 of the evening. See how fast they put it up there, but try it again. Draw one by the Bears. Olsen with the shot, hits a body, comes back out. Here's Garrett Heights. He's dangerous. Heights moving in. Shot, glove, save made by Lucas Alston. .3 to go. Off the draw. Raiders come away with it. Chance shot, score! Wyatt Hauer with 10.2 to go. And the Raiders take a 5-4 lead. Wyatt Hauer and a pair of assists, and this time was his opportunity to shine. Found a lane, fired the shot, and just like that, the Raiders, after losing their last 10 plus to White Bear Lake, have an opportunity to win this one in an incredible fashion. Shots 41-32. I mentioned the history. Last time the Bears fell to the Raiders, it was December 20th of 2012, and now December 9th of 2025. Barring a miracle here in the last 10 seconds, as the Bears do have called their timeout. Talk things over, try to draw something up. Looking like you can add December 9th, 2025 as a very special night if you are a Roseville Raiders fan. So here we go. 10 seconds remain. Empty net for White Bear Lake. Big face-off here. Draw one to the right side. Raiders have it. They'll play it down the ice. 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. And what a win for the Roseville Raiders. They take down White Bear Lake by a score of 5-4. Wyatt Howard, the hero, with 10.2 remaining. And a chaotic start to this White Bear Lake season continues. Started with a great tie with Minnetonka. They went on the road. Rogers, a victory out there. A stumble against Centennial, and another stumble on home ice, this time against the Roseville Raiders. As the Bears will have certainly some work to do, some stuff to figure out moving forward. But again, what an effort by the Roseville Raiders tonight with a huge win, and they will head home happy. Homestand coming up for them, East Ridge Park and Forest Lake, and they could certainly make a run now with this win in that Suburban East Conference. Looking at some of the great action we had here, what a game it was. And a great goal there by Liam Malloy to kick things off back in the first period. And the Bears continue the pressure there with the power play goal. The first 7, 8, 9 shots of the hockey game. Liam Malloy with the first 2 goals of the hockey game. But it'll be Garrett Heights starting out his incredible night, getting his first goal and getting the Raiders on the board. And then another great play there on the back door. Grant Jakubowski making it 2-2, but White Bear Lake would respond. On a great play there, Ryan Marquardt with the assist to Tanner Olson in the screen. Then we heard the post in the last one. We'll hear the post again on this one. What a play there. Garrett Heights, his second of the game to tie it up at 3. Then a battle out in front. It was Magnus Benz making it 4-3 before Heights would get the hat trick goal to make it a tie game once again. And the Raiders just kept hanging around here before a great play there. Nice little turnover, great save. The Bears certainly threw everything that they could on that Roseville Raider goal. The bodies were flying, not a lot of penalties. The officials let them play, and players certainly took advantage of that, but it was with 10.2 seconds to go. Wyatt Howard, the hero, giving the Raiders a 5-4 victory here at TCO Sports Garden. What a win for Roseville, and they will certainly remember this one for a while. Look at all the shots there, 41-32 in shots. Some great scoring opportunities for White Bear Lake. They just couldn't capitalize on enough. Just 3 power plays somehow that whole game. Bears were certainly good on the power play, and they will certainly be happy to see that power play number go up, but not happy to see that loss number go up as they fall to 3-2-1. The Raiders now up to 4-2-0. The Bears coming up the next few games here. Again, they will take on Wayzata at the Pick, Plymouth Ice Center coming up next week. They have plenty of time to kind of take a breather here before they will play a week from Thursday at Wayzata. And then it's Hill Murray at Aldridge Arena, a home game, but they are going to play that one out at Aldridge and allow everybody who wants to go to play to see that one on Saturday the 20th. So certainly a disappointing night for White Bear Lake and a elated night for the Roseville Raiders. What a win for them, and we'll see what the Bears can do. We mentioned earlier, 25 practice games, everybody makes the playoffs. We'll see if the Bears can learn from this and put together here the rest of the way. Thank you so much for joining us here on a beautiful evening of hockey. Again, the final score, Roseville 5, White Bear Lake 4. Much thanks to our crew for coming out here and dealing with all the elements, fighting their way through the roads and getting here and putting on a wonderful broadcast for everybody here at SCC Sports. I'm Zach Elverson saying so long from TCO Sports Garden. The final score, Roseville 5, White Bear Lake 4. We'll see you again very soon.